Hello everybody and welcome to the latest edition of Eco Africa. I am Neota Igbe at the Shodex Garden, Lagos, Nigeria. It's nice to have you with us. We have a lot of new reports from Europe and Africa on things people are doing to tackle the environmental issues facing them. And with me, of course, is my co-presenter from Uganda. Hello, Sandra.
Hello, Auntie. It's good to see you once again. My name is Sandra Tunobrio, coming to you from Kampala here in Uganda. Many thanks to you all for tuning in. Today's program will take us all around our beautiful continent as we shed some light on the environmental threats we face here. In Ivory Coast, we will hear about an app that locates arable land for communities and takes the pressure off forests. We will take a look at what the term ghetto wardrobe means here in Uganda, and find out how essential oils are helping to rehabilitate land in South Africa. Our first report comes from the Ivory Coast. Like many places in Africa, the country is losing more and more trees to illegal logging and slash and burn land clearance. In an effort to reduce or reverse that trend, an initiative has turned to digital technology to help locate new farmland for the villages. How does it work? Our eco reporter went to find out.
This pod guarantees this farmer's economic survival, and it's organic. Herman Devi Mobio grows cocoa on a small plantation the size of around 2 soccer fields. It's located in the Lamé region in the southeast of Ivory Coast, the world's largest cocoa producer. Nowadays, his farm is legal. But for many years, he had an illegal plantation in the middle of the Mabi classified forest.
We were stubborn. We wanted to make more money because the production there in the classified forest is 2 or 3 times higher than here. So we really wanted to stay there.
In the first decade of this century, Ivory Coast went through a political and military crisis. The budget for the protection of classified forests and national parks was reduced. The consequence, many cocoa farmers started illegal plantations there. Hundreds of hectares of trees are still illegally chopped down to make room for cocoa farming. In January 2019, the government adopted a new law to boost reforestation, controlled by trained rangers.
The classified forest is disappearing because of agriculture, especially the cocoa industry. The forest has a lot of advantages for farmers. It's the best place for them to grow cocoa. The soil is very fertile and there's no conflict over property rights. That results in the forest being threatened by the activity of these farmers.
Herman Devi Mobio cultivated cocoa on an illegal plantation for 4 years, but then he decided to move his plantation to another location. He participates in a project called Red Plus, which has the goal to protect forests and is run by the NGO Nitide. Dennis Mea is in charge of the mapping mission of Project Red Plus. He uses GeoPoppy, a free-source mapping app. Mea assesses the agricultural land around the classified forest and finds abandoned fields, like one belonging to Mobio's relatives.
GeoPoppy allows us to establish the boundaries of each plot of land. For example, Mobio's plot is right next to the classified forest. Now he knows the boundaries of the plot. He's not going to go beyond these limits and won't cross into the classified forest.
GeoPoppy software also maps all important trees on the plots. In the 60s and 70s, farmers cut down all the trees on their plantations to get maximum sun exposure because they believed that cocoa needed a lot of sun. In fact, the plant needs more shade. Agrobiologist Roland Etienne explains the impact of each tree on the cocoa plants to the farmers.
The akpi tree is important due to its environmental benefit. It stores carbon, so it plays a role in climate regulation. In addition, it plays an ecological role, as it's a cocoa-friendly tree, which protects and gives shade to the cocoa plant. That helps keep the soil moist and more fertile, which in turn increases cocoa production.
The NGO Nitide helps farmers like Mobio to convert their plantations in order to get an EU organic label for their cocoa production. One requirement is, for example, to use empty pods as fertilizers and to dry the beans on traditional bamboo mats. Mobio has benefited from this project.
It's made a big difference to my life. Before, it was very difficult to make a living. But with organic cocoa, prices are even better than with conventional cocoa.
As a result, Herman Davy Mobio's family is much better off, and the forest is too.